In the past year and a few months, we have experienced and know over 10 people that have gone into hospitals, different countries, different states, and have not come out alive. However, the information that we were getting from these individuals and their families was nearly the same. This protocol that the hospitals are doing to our friends and family is not in keeping with their oath to save lives. At this moment, my friend lies in a hospital in ICU in Los Alimitos and has gone through this similar process that those other people have laid victim to. These are COVID martyrs at the hospital's hand and what they are doing. I'm going to read you a letter that I have permission from on one of these journeys that ended in her husband dying. This was just a few months ago. After he was released from a hospital, so he had gone into a hospital where his primary doctor was able to help with him. His nurse therapist, who came to our house to check on him twice a week, the nurse checked on him at our house and said that his blood oxygen saturation level was too low. And she called 911 and they came to give him oxygen and took him to Orange Coast Memorial Hospital. I was told Saturday morning that he was 100% on 100% oxygen and his kidneys weren't functioning as he needed dialysis. His heartbeat was also irregular and he wasn't producing urine. So they transferred him to ICU Friday night. The hospital policy is that you have to have proof that you were vaccinated or to have been tested within 72 hours. So my son and I drove all around Saturday trying to find a place that was open for COVID testing. We finally found this center and we paid $129 to get the reply in 30 minutes. Then after all, that hospital told us that because he was in isolation section in ICU because of COVID, they don't allow visitors in the unit. We came home and my other son came over after work and we were able to see him via Zoom. A male nurse explained to me that his oxygen explained the oxygen that he was on. He was asleep. They're hoping that they can gradually wean him off the oxygen. It sounds like to me that he's doing better after having a bad night. We found out on Saturday that they put him on vancomycin, vancomycin Friday, and they put him on remdesivir, remdesivir on Thursday. I have to discontinue that, as both of these drugs are not recommended by a lot of doctors because of kidney failure may result. I talked to the charge nurse in ICU Saturday evening and told her that I didn't want him on these two drugs. She said it was up to the doctors to decide. So our primary called Sunday morning and he told him his concerns for the two drugs. And they said that the specialists in the fields were the ones making the decisions. So if you don't understand this guy has been with this primary doctor and has been working with him for years and years. And the doctors inside the hospitals will not take his advice for his patient because they're saying they're the specialists on COVID. Saturday, I was told that he had improved and that he was on 60% oxygen and he was able to urinate. PTL. Sunday morning, doctor called and said that he is not doing good and they need to put him on a ventilator. He goes, then I prayed, if God wants to take him home, that's fine. Not because, if God wants to take him home, not because that he is put on drugs that are, because he's put on drugs that are known to cause kidney failure. So he's older in life And the fact that they're not taking him off these drugs that are causing kidney failure, and he already had kidney issues, she didn't know what to do. Sunday morning, the doctor said that he wasn't doing well, and they put him on a ventilator. Okay, so this is they can't get in to see him. They tell the hospital they don't want him on the drugs that they know that will already harm him. And their primary doctor is not even able to release because they said, so then they were finally allowed on the Tuesday to go to the hospital at 1 to see him. He was comatose. Okay? They've been sedating people in the hospital. That's why you can't even talk to them. They're sedating them. We have a friend right now laying in the hospital at Los Alimitos, and they've done the exact same thing in ICU. He didn't respond to us at all. I believe, however, that the people can hear, so we prayed over him. Following seeing him, the doctor, somebody said that he was transitioning from this life. She said his blood pressure was low, 53/33 roughly. And if we took him off the 4 blood pressure medications, that he would pass right away. She said that they tried to give him dialysis last night, but it lowered his blood pressure, so they stopped. She said that they were going for him to put him on, like putting on Band-Aids on a bad wound. She said that we needed to decide how much we wanted to do for him so he would be more comfortable. They were planning to go over and to see him. Then the hospital called and told them that he passed away 2.5 hours later. Okay, this is happening all over. And the reason why I'm telling you this is our 10th person that had the same similar situation happen. Going into the hospital, no communication with family. The doctors, even primary, can't get a hold of them. And whatever doctors are being allowed to be in these hospitals to order these 2 drugs that are very dangerous. One apparently was used for the Ebola, and 54% of the people on that drug passed away from it, and they're still using it in the hospitals for this COVID protocol. Right now, my husband a few days ago got a text from a man in a hospital saying the same thing, that they were starting to put him on a ventilator, and now, a couple of days later, he is an ICU, completely comatose. And I have friends in South Carolina that this happened to. I have friends in Iowa this has happened to. I have friends all around this nation and around us in different counties. And people are telling me the exact same thing. But it's from all these different sources. And they don't even know each other. And yet it's happening constantly, time and time again. I'm getting a call from this exact same thing. We have to wise up right here, and somebody has got to step up and stop this whole hospital protocol that is actually killing our friends and not making them better. And whatever you guys are doing in the hospital, you nurses and doctors that have taken an oath to save lives, and you're seeing this all along, there is something wrong with you. And if your heart is not convicted by all the people that are dying and all the news reporting that we are getting of morticians going up and all the deaths going up, maybe you guys should stand up, and doctors finally need to stand up and say no to whoever is paying you for these ventilator treatments and all the money that you're getting paid. Whoever is behind the source of these ventilator payments and this hospital protocol that you guys are knowingly is not working, somebody's got to stand up and say no more. Because this is evidence that you guys are doing something that is not actually helping. If I'm getting 10 different cases saying the same thing, what are the chances that it's happening in more places than not? So, America, listen up. If this is what you think is the proper treatment, that's up on your hands. But when I look at this and when I hear this letter, oh yeah. And then my friend who calls from a different state, she said her parents went to the hospital. I said, don't put them on remdesivir. It's, from what I'm seeing, it's not working and it's causing kidney failure and death. And she texts back, the nurse just called and said that's what they put them on. She's asked them to get off and she couldn't get them off it. I hope this letter that you guys just heard will start to shake up things and start to maybe question, is the hospital and are the hospitals and those staff members in the hospital doing the right thing for us? Listen, you may not have heard on mainstream media about ivermectin or hydrochloroquine or any of that, but all I know from my experience with these people that have all gone in the hospital with this same protocol have all died. And the 5 different people that I found out that took ivermectin and hydrochloroquine or both or whatever are still alive. That is my personal experience with what is happening. I don't know what yours is, but I wanted to share that because I'm so tired of getting the same phone call for the last year and a few months. Exactly what she wrote about, and that's what I'm hearing about. And I don't know what else to do, America, but we the people are allowed to say no. And doctors and nurses, if you're listening and you're convicted, do something. Call a lawyer, get some support, and start exposing the truth about what is happening in these hospitals. I don't know what else to say, you guys. I just know that God knows. God is a just God, and he's not going to let this go away without his notice. But for my people and my friends' family who've all had people die in this manner, I call them COVID martyrs because that's what I believe they are. And those that have made it in heaven, I'm sure they're talking to God and saying, avenge us, Lord. Because I don't believe that this is helping. And I think this needs to be stopped. I think the doctors need to stand up and do something else. So that is my opinion. That is my experience in the last year and a half. Take it or leave it. I am no medical doctor, but I'm letting you know what has happened in my life and my personal experience. I love my friends. I love my family. And I love those that are fighting for the truth and to do the right thing. So those of you that are doctors and nurses that are doing the right thing, please continue doing the right thing. You know, we need more men and women that are not caring about their job position over what is right and what is the right thing to do. So God bless you guys. I'm venting because right now I can hear my husband, who is on the phone with ICU right now, just told us that our friend is in a comatose state, just like they did to my other friend who passed a few months ago. Lord, help us all.